Thank you, everyone, for joining on this call. I think I consider it a privilege to be able to speak to all of us. Today, we are going to have a conversation. It's going to be highly interactive. I've already given you a chance to pitch your business. And I saw somebody saying, I deal with medical devices. So I just want to say that pitching is about giving enough information for someone to buy. Yeah. It's about uh, giving, like now when you say that my name is Karumba, I'm into women clothes, that could be very confusing. You need to give some information which is adequate enough, because pitching is marketing. As you'll soon be allowing me to share, Linda, uh, pitching is marketing. You are marketing a business. So I'll talk a lot. We'll talk to each other. It's very enjoyable. This is not academic, it's very practical. And I want you to learn something. We can always pitch better. Yes, we can always pitch better. I know some of you are married, you've had a chance to pitch yourself for yourself at least once to someone who bought your stories. But I want to tell you that a lot of times as entrepreneurs, we get a chance to pitch and we waste it because we do not we do not give people enough information for them to be interested either in investing in our business or taking up our products. So yeah, so that is the kind of talk we are going to have. Although today we are going to talk more about raising capital. So why do we raise capital? Now I want to talk to you like friends. We raise capital for a very simple reason. And the very, very, very simple reason we raise capital is because our vision is too urgent for it to grow using internally generated money. Number two, the reason we raise capital is our vision is too big for us, for the money we have to be sufficient. And I may add number three, why we raise capital is because our idea is so precious that it needs to be executed so quickly that if we wait to grow pole pole, with only the money we have, it will take too long. So all of us at some point needs to be ready to raise capital. I want to share with you some of the more important things I've learned. And my sharing is still not enabled, please. I have learned that, and this is probably one of the most important things I want to leave with you. You raise money when you do not need it. That's a canonical rule. You raise money when you do not need it. Because people like entrepreneurs come to me, they tell me I need to raise money. I ask them, how soon do you need to raise money? They tell me I needed it 6 months ago or last week. I'm already late. No, raising money takes up 6 months, 1 year, or 2 years. Our founder, Melanin, of Melanin Capital, took so long to raise money. And that's why you raise money when you do not need it. And why is that so advantageous when you raise money when you don't need it? It's because you are not desperate for money. So you can agree, you don't have to agree to bad conditions. So you come to me, you're desperate for money. You want 3 million. Yes, I'll give you 3 million, but I'll tell you, you wanted to sell me 20% of your business. I want 80% of your business for 3 million. And if you're desperate, you end up having no choice rather than to say yes. Then it's not my money, it's not your money, it's in other people's wallets or purses, or investment committees have to sit. And that of essence makes time. Assuming you've pitched to a company that has an investment committee that sits only 4 times in a year. They just met probably in November. The next The next time they meet is probably Feb. So if you needed money very urgently, nobody will give you money that quickly. So it takes money. It takes time to raise money, and the more desperate you are, the worse terms you get, the longer it takes, and you could lose great opportunities. So because everybody wants to invest in a business that is doing well. Yeah. So, and it's very counterlogical to what entrepreneurs think. You sell, you trade when you're desperate for funding. That's the time you're calling me, or I need money, you can't even let us sleep. No, and when you're told no, you start to abuse people, they wasted your time. Honestly, if you get money before you pitch to 10 investors, you've raised money quickly. I've raised money almost the whole of my working life. And what I know is that you have to kiss literally many frogs before you find your Prince Charming. Sawa sawa. All right, so that's good. But welcome. It's possible to raise money. I want to encourage you, and I think you should raise money even when you don't need it, especially debt capital, because debt capital can literally help you. You raise money, you don't have to issue shares. Yeah. Many people don't know, even Safaricom and Equity Bank, they have raised money. Yeah, they have raised money. These people have got a lot of cash, but they still raise money. Why do they raise money? They raise money because it's the right thing to do. It makes it cheaper to fund your business. Yeah. For example, I don't have my pens here, but if you have debt is deductible as an expense. Yeah. So if you have raised 10 million in debt from Barclays, from Absa, from Equity, and they're charging you 20% per annum, that's 2 million. Because you're increasing your expenses by 2 million, you are reducing your profit by 2 million. And because you'll pay taxes at 30%, 2 million times 30% is 600K. And that's what we call capital structuring. 600K is money that you save because you used debt capital. Otherwise, you would not have been able to save that. Yeah. And that's why they raise money. And then the other thing we believe is that debt is cheaper than own money. And why is debt cheaper? Because debt does not, debt is for some time. If I invest 2 million in your business, in 3 years, 4 years, you've paid me. But equity, which is good, equity is fantastic. Also, if I invest 2 million in your business, forever, I'll be entitled at a share of your profits. Now, the most wonderful thing, and you are free later to put up the presentation, is that money sometimes is not the most important thing when you raise money. The most important thing is you look for people who will have a seat at your board, a board seat, who will help you deliver on your vision. Yeah, let me talk to my friends before we share the slides. This is a conversation with amazing entrepreneurs, and congratulations. If you're in business, you deserve to pat yourself on the back. I think you should be nominated to be a Maasai warrior. You are going through a lot, and please, my mentor told me as long as I'm running business, I should be congratulating yourself. Don't you let anyone guilt trip you. I know you could be deep in debt, or if not paid, you don't know where salary or rent will come from. But entrepreneurs, you're doing well. And I totally believe if you can survive this period, you will survive for a long, long time to come. Actually, not survive, you'll thrive. I deal with a lot of entrepreneurs across board, and anyone who's still breathing in this sea of entrepreneurship is a hero. All right. The other thing is when you raise money, and it's very important when people think you may get a check of 10, 50 million, but the people that you're in partnership with are what I like to call animals. There are people who want to steal your business from you. There are people who not add value to you. Please. So it's a courting process. No one is helping each other too much. The investor needs you so that their money will grow. You need the investor so that your business will grow. And this is something entrepreneurs forget, that it's not just about them, it's also about you. Yeah. I may come in, I may come in with a lot of money, but I'm the wrong kind of partner. I'll change your strategy. I'll not believe in you. And the worst, I'll get you fired out of your company. Just last week, we saw the founder of OpenAI, ChatGPT 4, and the 5 and the 6. What's his name? Can somebody write here on the chat so that I know we are together? He was fired and by the board in a company he founded. How does that happen? Steve Jobs was fired. In Kenya, a big entrepreneur has just been fired out of his board like 2 years ago, and he's lost his company. So for me to know we are together, and it's not too late to write, these entrepreneurs, one of you write who is the CEO of OpenAI who got fired, and then the board had to resign, and then he's back, and then we will start. And therefore, as you start to raise money, having a board is very important. Because the board gives confidence and a proper governance structure that your company is professional, and that it's not a one-man, one-woman show, that there are people who will backstop your decision. And now, once you issue shares, remember that thanks, Christine, Sam Altman. Yeah, he got fired. Yeah, and he's back. But some people are not so lucky. You get fired, and your company goes forever. So, you have to be wise because about the people you're engaging in. And I like telling entrepreneurs this. And this is the last thing I'm saying before I run through my slide. And it's so important. I don't want to say that if you miss anything, please get this. No, I hope you get everything. But this is the most important thing I can tell you about raising money. So if you have notes, please write this because it's the most important thing. When someone is interested in your company, which professional do you speak to first? And you can still use the chat. When somebody is interested in, let's say I want to invest in your company. You need 10 million, you need 20, you need 100,000, you need 100 million. Some of you probably 200,000. Your vision is big. You want to grow beyond your county or have the grace to grow beyond Kenya. Which professional do you speak to? Marilyn says legal. Anyone else? Accountant? John Gacha. So we have two answers. Who is the first one? It must be one. That lawyer. Commander says lawyer. Thank you for responding. I'm happy we're engaging. For those of you who've raised capital from external sources, especially equity, lawyer. We've got a lawyer for Commander. Two more people. Please let's write. This is interactive. If you don't know how to write, go to chat or Q&A. Chat is for chatting. Q&A is where you'll note your questions as I go through. I need another 3-4 responses, please. This is not a facilitation you can listen to when working. You need to focus here. Raising money is serious. And there is no large firm, not Microsoft, not Yahoo, not anyone who has never raised money if you want to grow. So I want to say the person who got it, in my opinion, right, though all of you did well, you need to speak to all these marketers, strategists, because they'll ask you for your strategy, they'll ask you for your accountant. It's Pauline, makofi kwa Pauline, and I'm going to put an emoji for Pauline because you need to speak to a financial, that is for Pauline. Yeah, Pauline, that's yours. Most people speak to a lawyer, but let me tell you why speaking to a lawyer is like the worst thing. It's very bad. And that's why people are losing their companies. Please listen to me. When you want to buy land, and some of you have bought land, have bought a house, have bought a car, you do what is called financial structuring before you do legal structuring. Please mute. And what is financial structuring? Financial structuring is when you want to buy land from Mr. Shege or from Kamau or Tieno, the land broker. You agree, yes, I'm buying an eighth of land in Kamulu near bypass for 2 million. It's only that time that you go to lawyer to sign what we call a land sale agreement, where you go to the lawyer and tell them we've agreed with Mutesia that I'm going to buy an eighth. This eighth is located in Mavoko or Nyandarua or Kericho or Loitoktok. This eighth, he has shown me the documentation that he's the bona fide owner. This eighth, I'm buying it for 2 million or 200,000. Dear Mr. Lawyer, please draft for us the agreement. And what the lawyer takes is your agreements, your decisions, and in law, he says he reduces that to a contract. So if you go see a lawyer, how did you arrive at the number of shares you are selling? What is the price per share? And what are the terms? Are these shares convertible? Can they be converted to debt? Can they divide 1 for 2? Those are things you need to tell a lawyer, and we call that area corporate finance. So if I'm selling the farm I work for, and you are buying it, I need to value it. I need to know how many shares I'm selling. Is it 200 million shares? Is it 90 shares? What is the value per share? And what are the conditions to closing the deal? Some of the things we've seen are, maybe we say that if any liabilities come about, let's say we have a court case that I have to refund the buyer, who we call it a vendor. That's the former word, the person buying the company, we call them the vendor. Another condition is what we'll do if KRA comes and finds tax liabilities. The other thing we have to agree is what happens if we do all the due diligence, we are happy to proceed, then last minute you say you're not interested. In the US, for large companies, they have something they call a break clause or clause. And if you like, and that's what made it impossible for Elon Musk not to buy Twitter, because when he wanted out, the break clause was probably over $1 billion. Because you don't want to go through all the process, you've missed out all the other buyers, and then eventually the person is unable to raise money. I've seen that happen. I was working for a company where the day before the money was to come from Brazil investor, they told us that the currency has collapsed. Meaning, if the dollar was at 155, now it's at 1,000 shillings per dollar. And therefore, they cannot raise 7-8 times the money they were hoping. That happens in some of the emerging currencies. So your company needs to be valued. Otherwise, you may sell for less value. If you oversell for more value than it's worth, probably that's fine for you. But you need to understand what you're selling. Can I tell you one more important thing? Listen, when you sell a company, You sell the future. So I could come to you with just a mere cup like this. But I have hope that one day I'll make 1 billion cups. I'll sell to everyone in Africa and beyond. So the fact that I only have a prototype of a cup doesn't mean my business is worth 2 million or 10 million. It's all the income that we'll earn in our future reduced to today's value. So a lot of entrepreneurs think that their business is not worth much. And I want to give you an example. When M-Pesa, you know M-Pesa? I was checking yesterday, the limit is 500,000. M-Pesa, when it was just an idea, really, you could say it's ridiculous. It didn't look as if it will go anywhere. And probably somebody sold it to Safaricom. They signed a lot of papers. And as you said, they tell you, thank you very much. Oh, this is very nice. Sign again, sign here, sign here, sign here. Unfortunately, I don't know whether they got anything much, but if I was the advisor, I would have told them, can you please retain rights 10% of the income this thing will bring forever? And I'm sure they would be earning quite a bit. And that is the financial structuring. So even if they were given 100 million that time, yeah, the money could look a lot. But how much is Safaricom charging you before you hide your till from KRA? You know, they are charging you a lot. And that is what you call financial structuring. That sometimes some lawyers can do the financial structuring, some can't. And you need to structure a good deal for yourself. And that is my point before I share my pitch deck. That we value the future. The past is gone. I normally say I shouldn't worry about yesterday. It ended last night. Whether you made 100 million last year, that is your money. The investor will not participate in that money. Investor will participate in the money from the day they invest to the day they exit, or your business dies or something. So, sorry. My phone keeps on making noises. Yeah. So is that clear? That even if I'm opening I hope I have a factory to sell bags or pens like this one, and I even have something drawn on a napkin. Or some of you just have, what are you doing? Like you only have one hammer and you hope to start a supplies business. Or you are a creative director, you only have an idea in your head and maybe pieces of cloths. Even if it's a torn piece of cloth and your idea is great, that one day you'll open shops even in India, Japan, Korea, Ongatarongai included, and Matasia, that business could be worth $100 million. And it's okay for you to ask for $20 million because you value the future and you value the potential. And that is what you said. And once we have agreed on that, let's be training on how to pitch your business. I want please let your questions start to flow so that we learn something. We learn something. Awesome, awesome. Oh, great. So today class, that was introduction, is building a killer pitch. Successful, present your business to investors. All right, let's move on. This is me. My name is Karumba. I'm an entrepreneur consultant. I train people. I actually really enjoy it because I think I can change your life. You can be great. You can raise millions of dollars or shillings. And actually, a lot of time when we do pitch decks, we use dollars. Why do we use dollars? A lot of investors, unfortunately, have been foreigners. So we've used dollars. I run a firm called Pine Hill Consulting. I'm an author of a book called Wealth Beyond Generations, Strategies for Intergenerational Wealth Transfer. The book talks about this space when you've grown your business and you want to hand it over. I probably demonstrate a copy as we finish. It's very important to build a successful business that you shall exit. So That's me when I'm polished, like today. Let's go on so that we go on to stuff that I know entrepreneurs really want to hear about. So what is pitching and what is a pitch deck? Let's go on. So pitching is a pitch deck is a brief presentation that gives potential investors or clients overview of your business plan, products, services, and growth traction. So there are four things. People need to hear, what are your plans? Yeah. Do you have a great future? So before even you arrive at making a business plan, you need a strategic plan and you need a business plan. And that is what you reduce into a pitch deck so that you can explain to somebody in less than 5 minutes what your business plan is, what are your products or services, and how you hope to grow. Because as you grow, that is the money they hope to participate in. Let's look at how to prepare a pitch deck. So the pitch deck has components. You must tell us the problem you are solving. And your problem has to be real. And sometimes it's very important if you've done some research. You have either done research yourself or had somebody to do research. You can get research done even for 50K or less to validate that there is a problem. And because we are talking, I heard of this entrepreneur who came up with a very nice idea. They wanted to make doors, you know, doors that turn like this into badminton tables. Sorry, into table tennis tables. So the door was to around the middle. Yeah. Sorry, let me just use, this is my teaching aid. You know, a door moves this way. So they were saying that they could have a big bolt so that the door lies flat like this, and people could play table tennis on a door. Is there do people want doors that can be weak or turn into table tennis doors? No. And they failed. So your problem has to be genuine. So if you are, for example, in supplies business, you've looked around and said this area they are building, or the young people, young families, they're renovating their homes. People are buying plots. There is a genuine need of hardware materials. Some of you are into medical sciences. Some of you are into other sort of services, farming. Yes, you are farming capsicum. You're not doing onions or potatoes for this reason. So, for example, we are Daily Farm specializing in commercial production. Our aim is to foster collaborative thinking to drive further to further drive agricultural innovation. By closing the loop and leveraging technology, we help other farmers grow and nurture a consumer-first mindset. Still, that's a bit convoluted, but if you're like your doctor is, you know, to serve mothers of Kayole ward in Kayole. That's where you're located in Kayole. And why? For example, if you're in medical devices, you sell medical beds. They are very expensive. Our aim is to supply affordable medical beds to hospitals in Nairobi and its environs. That's a problem. Why do you exist? Why should anyone buy from you? Sometimes you don't know even why people buy from us. For example, this mafuta called Aramis. Why do they exist? Is it to improve the milking experience or to improve the experience of our skincare? So the bigger the problem, the more concise the problem, the more you are likely to be funded. For example, if you are like a cancer research center and you tell investors, invest in my business, we are losing 10,000 lives in a year. My business exists to find the cure of cancer so that to eliminate preventable cancer deaths. So that is articulation of the problem. And it's always from the perspective of the customer, not yours. Don't create a problem that doesn't exist. It has to be from a customer's perspective. That yes, the business, if you're in transport business, you exist to offer quality transport services from town to Githurai 44. And why you can take, we'll talk of, you must have photos, you may take queues. People right now, I know people are queuing massively in town to go home. So there is demand for the products. And everyone wants a comfortable ride or affordability. Like now food has become expensive. You're opening a restaurant. Can your restaurant offer affordable food? So I will be asking you as part of homework, can you articulate why your business exists? Or rather, another way of thinking about it, what would not happen if your business didn't exist? Let's go. Yeah, please feel free to ask me. So, and how you define the problem in details? Market gap, increasing demand for organic products, and we are seeing a lapse in availability of this. So, what is the market gap you are mending? Customers. Who are your customers? Where do you find them? Yeah. How do you do it efficiently? You don't have to be cheap. You can be a value, charging people a premium if you're offering customers. Today I was in town. I wanted to eat lunch. I went to one restaurant. I was told it's 500. I went somewhere upstairs. I ate the same food for 250 shillings because I have to eat what I wanted, isn't it? But there's a customer willing to buy 550. Me, I'm willing today 230. There's a day I'll be willing to pay more, maybe in Java or at cafe. But you have to articulate a value that links to your customers and usability. How do people, how now that there's a problem, how do people use your products? For example, you may want to raise money so that you have more branches, more outlets, or to have a smaller unit of your product, Kadogo economy, or a large product. Maybe now you want to go and serve institutional customers. That is to do with usability. And you have to articulate this so that investors, let's go on, will be sure that there is a problem, there is an issue. So now you present your business as a solution. How do you close the gap? For example, for a milk business, is our products offer style and function of the traditional commercial species, but with a plan for energy efficiency. This is not for milk, but let's say you are in outfitting business, you are into tailoring, you're into fashion. How do you close the gap that you've spoken about? Who do you target? And mute for me that person. Who is your target audience? Is it sick people? Is it upwardly mobile people? Is it the people located within your area where you live in Kasarani? Are you a business where you courier your products far? Kenyans are selling so much abroad. People are selling to Ugandans, Tanzanians. Who is your audience? And don't say everybody who eats. No, you have to say my audience is, for example, restaurants, mid-sized restaurants that order between 150 to 100 liters of milk per day. You've defined your audience in a very clear way. Are you going to save costs? For example, if you're a chemist, you may say you want to bring in an element of affordability because things have become expensive and easy to use. Maybe you have a new technology that allows people to use or to consume your product in an easy way. And now we're beginning, let's go on to understand your business in a very, very robust way. So tell us what's unique about you. Yes, there is a neighbor there. There is Othiambo, there is Millicent, there is Jane, and then there is Woyo, who is doing the same business. So what's unique about you? Is it an innovative business? Are you the first to market? Maybe you've traveled abroad, you've come back and found, while people are struggling in Nairobi to date, then you launch the first dating services or the first service that allows us to maybe, have tailors who deliver clothes on time. Have you tested your product or idea so that you're not just telling us of a good idea when it's put to test, it won't work? And then if it's a social business, you have a lot of social investors. They want to think about your footprint. They want to think about your ecological print, carbon footprint. Those are elements that may attract investors that are concerned about the environment. So please tell us what's unique about you. Is it that it's special? Is it that you are very experienced? So that we know that we are investing in a business with a competitive advantage. Let's go on. Yes. And the market size. How do you estimate a market size? Yes, I have a new business making pens. Whatever you do, how big is your market? Many investors want to invest in a business that will scale, a business that will grow, a business that will expand. We here, we do not train you at Melanie Capital so that your business only serves your village mates or your former schoolmates. We want a business with a grace ya kuvuka border. We want you to be big because the businesses you have is not just to fill your stomach. Many of you can easily work and feed yourself and educate your children and live in a nice place. We want a business that will be proud that you employ 10,000 people, that you're in Uganda, you're in Rwanda, you're in Zanzibar and places. So you can size your market for now, in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. Maybe in Kenya, maybe in your county, right now, maybe in county, you're targeting women. Maybe out of that women, you're targeting women between ages 30 to 45 who probably love going to, amen for that, to weddings, wearing vitenge, all restaurants that sell tea at 50 bob. So who is your target market? 30 restaurants within Kiambu that each buy 1,000 liters of milk per month. You've defined your market in the most concise way possible. And therefore, then that becomes the basis for you to tell us how much income you expect should you get the whole of the market that you want. But it's very important to estimate the market size, whether it's a good or business. When I started consulting business, I knew my market size is very big because many people are not able to afford quality consultancy services. And so I looked for market in circles. I target in firms like accelerators like Millennium Capital. I targeted individuals. That time I used to write CVs and cover letter, and I could figure out where potentially my business will come from. Let's go on. I also want to say that an example of targeting the market, coconut oil provides a good solution for better skin, look, and feel. Nutrition, provision of healthy supplements for sensitive skin, energy sector, conservation or waste as a source of energy, and provision of alternative fertilizers or compost, feeds for livestock. That is target market. Yeah, that is a slide on. This is the market I'm targeting. Very clear, very concise. Let's go on. Then, competitive edge. These examples I'm giving you, I've already given you some. We have co-working relationship with grassroots partners. That is an advantage you have. That with grassroots partners, please go back. What are the advantages? Maybe your parents are farming. And like my mom farms bananas, then she sells them very cheap at 200, 250 as 10. Maybe I have the competitive advantage. I can source banana easily. If I started a matoke business, maybe you live near the lake, yeah, and you can get fish very easily. That's why you're starting a fish shop. Maybe you are born in Kinagop and you know about potatoes. That's why you want to sell us chips. Another advantage is have excellent understanding of dynamics of industry. I worked with a consultant who had done a PhD in insectology. Can you imagine somebody studying about insects and they wanted to start a business that they could crush insects to make animal feeds. And they could say that they have invented a new way of raising insects, feeding insects, rearing insects, and they say that's their competitive advantage. Maybe you have distributors. For example, Coke has distributors all over the country. Maybe it's a new product line you are pitching because you want new customers. You got to tell them that I already have a distribution network of trained salespeople, and that's my advantage. Or my wife travels abroad a lot. I wish she was, and she brings me cheap bags that now I want to sell. And either fast into the market, you are near the market, And maybe, I've seen somebody here in Kiambu Road open a salon because the father owns a building and they were giving them ground floor for a salon for nothing. Don't you like having those fathers? No rent. That's a competitive advantage. Therefore, they can lower the cost of service provision to attract customers. They'll never tell you that. That's why, can we take a break? Please, entrepreneurs, can we stop admiring people who we don't know? Who's helping them? Yeah, there's a lot of competition among entrepreneurs. No, it could be somebody is having the dad or the mom owns lorries that go to Mombasa. They bring chicken for free, chicken feed for free from Mombasa cheaply for nothing. And I'm doing Toto, even if they are old. Can you please receive this for nothing? You, when you see me succeeding in chicken farming, you go to the same business. Then you do not know. So I want to tell you, please think through your competitive advantage. It could be the experience you have in that area. It could be where you live. If you live in Kiambu, you have access to markets for milk, eggs, all food stuff, and surrounding areas. That's a competitive advantage. You know where to source things cheaply. You are well trained. You used to work for a large company. You identified a niche, and that's what you want to serve. Let us know that, because it will make us excited. If you're in IT, you could tell us you've come up with a software that does something unique that's not been invented. You've tested the market and you found things interesting. Now, this thing is telling me I have 5 minutes and I'm just getting on. Let's go. Competitive analysis, please, please, please. Never tell investors that you have no competitors. Can we right now, my dear friends, I know you are still there. Tell me, who is a competitor to Coke? Coca-Cola. Can I have two answers here? Who is the competitor to Coca-Cola? Coca-Cola. Let's get on our keyboard quickly. We write. Cheeseman. We're almost running. It's almost 5. We took 10 minutes, 15 minutes to start. So we're going to extend a little bit with your permission. Pepsi. In Kenya, who is the competitor to Coke? Coke. End of story. You're wrong. Okay, you're partially right. Now, the competitor to Coke is called water. And let me tell you why this is important. Sometimes we think of competition narrowly. For a long time, our Kenyan banks thought competition is other banks. They ignored something called Safaricom. I have checked yesterday my phone. I have a limit of up to $500,000 per day that I can save here and that I can send. I don't need to go to the bank. I can pull the money, and each time I don't use bank apps, I lose money. The banks lose money, sorry. So I want to encourage you to think of your competition very widely. There are direct competitors and indirect competitors. And investors want to hear, who is your competitor? Have you thought about them well? For example, Nevasha suppliers, they supply 180 bob per liter. Rasmi products, these are examples, they do 210, us will do 175, or we'll do 300 because of where we are located. Maybe you're in Muthaiga, Lavington, or another high quality place like Kibera or Kangemi, and you can afford to charge a lot. Yeah. So people would want to think that you've thought of your competition and how they could react. If Coke becomes very expensive, people in Kenya drink water. Or if yesterday I was in an event, they didn't give us sodas, they gave us water. Yeah. So think about your direct competitors and think about your indirect competitors, so that you'll not be telling people that have no competition. In fact, the other big competitor is the economy. I'm having a party soon. If the economy is bad, what happens? We don't order sodas. We don't order meat. The restaurant doesn't serve you. The restaurant you open, people don't patronize. So let the investor know you have thought through your competition very, very well. What they do, yeah, let's go on. How they can react so that they know. Then we want to hear the milestones you have done. Ideas are cheap. They are terribly, very cheap. I normally see even the poorest person in the world If you ask them can I make money, they'll let you know. So what is the traction? You've already invested in a processing plant, you've trained the staff, you've installed storage, you have attained licensing requirement, KEBS requirements, regulatory requirements, you have market share, I've sold a bit, and that is always fantastic. And people love to hear that you've made some progress in your products, in your business. It's not just an idea. In fact, the best way to raise money, thank you for this slide, I can see it, is that they should know you are going on whether they join you or not. And they can see the traction you are making. We also want to see who is your management. If you have been running for a business for some time, please don't be a one-woman show. Don't be a one-man show. So tell us that either you are the managing director, founder, the lion of the business, the giraffe that sits far. Yes, that's fine. You may have a finance officer or outsourced accounting services. You may have a lawyer, and you may have direct staff and service providers. Investors want to hear that. Yes, you may be the chief operation officer, the chief technical officer. You know, when you found a firm, you can call yourself anything. You can call yourself the chief motivation officer, the chief, the giraffe of the business, the lion of the business, the CEO, founder, and MD. You're allowed to do that. It's your business in any case. But let us know who else is helping you to execute your vision. Even packers are important to know. People help you pack. People, the loaders, you can just tell us 10 loaders or 15 saloonists. Yeah. Who is watching over your finances, even if it's part-time. So because we want to hear that there is a team behind you, because many investors invest in teams, not in individuals. And even when you are alone, you could tell them, I have plans to hire ABCD, a chief technical officer, quality control officer, the senior people, so that people will know that your business grows. And I know in Kenya, we like running on ourselves. And like the people that I work with, they support the vision for this business. So please tell us that I am the one, these are the people I'm working with. Honestly, even if it's your husband or your wife who's working, or I really discourage people to found businesses with their girlfriends. But that's a story of another day in boyfriends, because I have been bad peace forming committees as people walikosana, then they are still in business. But yeah, you can write them there, but avoid using the same name. Maybe you are called James Troitich. Don't say Mrs. Troitich. Maybe use her maiden name so that you can appear as independent business partners, because this is business at home. Who knows what goes on in there, so that you look professional. All right, I think enough of that. Let's go. Yeah, growth strategy. Now, this is the music to the ears of investors. They want to hear how you will grow Q1, Q2, Q3 next year, year one, year two. Yes, I'm rolling out 2 branches in next year. Next year, but 1, 4 branches, new ones. Next year, but 2, 5 branches. Each branch will bring in additional sales of 10 million shillings, because they're investing in future. They want to hear how you grow. It has to be reasonable. It has to make sense. It has to be attainable. And your growth strategy has to be supported by the staff you are bringing, employees, by the capital you are raising, by your marketing strategy, by your internal capacity, so that people will know, yes, I invest money in this lady or gentleman, but they are going to grow massively. Yeah. Can you imagine, as we change the slides, the people invested in Apple, not Apple phones company, or Google, or your business. Yes, they put in little money, but it has grown and they participate in that upside. And this is how we show metrics, how clients will grow, 2020, 2022, 23, 24, how orders will grow, how revenue will grow, how net revenue will grow, how profits will grow. And we use charts or graphs to demonstrate this. Everybody wants to invest in a business that's about to record 20, 100% growth the next 3, 4, 5 years, because they know that the more the business grows, the more they are going to get a huge return for their returns. I remember when I was an investment manager, we had a chance to invest in Equity Bank. But remember, that time we couldn't. We thought Equity Bank is about to collapse. Yeah, those who have invested in it have made a lot of money. Yes, so, but the growth story is always amazing. It's always amazing. Let's go on. Yes, financials. And now this is a bit detailed here, 1, 2, 3, maybe up to 5. These are projections, the future. You could start by the last 2 years that you have the financials for, and then you project out the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Your growth can be 10%, 100%, depending on where you are. And this is the normal balance profit and loss account that demonstrates your growth year on year. And the more you grow, the more you look attractive. Yes, they'll question your numbers. So your numbers must be supported and must have a basis. All right. Now, the money you raise, and this is important, show people that you have put in your own money into your business. Please, please, please don't tell us I want to raise 10 million. How much money of yourself have you invested? Zero. No, we want to hear that you have something we call skin in the game, that you put in your own funding. Yeah, because if you put in your 2 million, your 1 million, then you're asking us to give us extra money, we'll be delighted about you because this is a business you already believe in, that you've put in your own money. Some of you it's possible to get grants. You could pitch for a grant, especially if you're a lady or youth or in an area that has investor interest like climate. Please, please, please don't miss opportunities to pitch for grants and to get them. You could pitch for debt. Your bank manager needs you pitch to them so that they lend you debt if you don't want to give out shares. We raise debt when? We raise debt when we have regular cash flow. We can pay back the bank on a regular basis, or the person who gives us debt. That's when we raise debt. Secondly, we raise debt when we want short-term funding. Like now we are coming to Christmas. Many of you need to pre-fund your Christmas orders. I should be done in the next 5 minutes, please. Many of you need to pre-fund your Christmas orders from 15th. And then 1st of January, the business, you'll have done your peak. Now, for short-term money, that's when you get an overdraft or a debt, because the moment they pay you cash, by December, end of December, you'll have the money. When do you raise equity? You raise equity when you do not have regular cash flow. You raise equity when you want money that will last a long time. You want to put up a new plant. You want a lot of money that is patient into your business. That's when you raise equity cash flow, so that it takes time. Next month, the bank will always require to be paid. A trick with raising debt: if you need to raise 1 million, please raise 1.1 million, because they'll charge you a loan processing fee. But most importantly, close the door. I tell you the secret. If you raise a little bit extra, have you closed the door? You'll have money to pay the first and the second installment before your business becomes able to pay. Because that's the challenge with debt. Yeah, but if I raised 1.1 million, I needed $1 million, I paid those guys their 40K as the loan processing fee, I'm left with 60. I can use their own money to pay them at the next 2 months. By that month, maybe my business now will be in a position to start servicing the debt. But don't tell them that. That's a trick from me to you. And then let's talk about venture capital. This is where, when you raise about venture capital, we think about this is patient money. This is somebody doing a major investment to allow you to grow, to allow you to expand, to allow you to introduce new product lines, to buy new packaging, new machines from China and other places, other very developed places like, very advanced places like Kitui, wherever you're getting your machines from. This is for new plant. Can I tell you something? When you raise money, please remember to raise a lot of money at the same time. Don't raise 200,000. It's not worth the struggle. That's when talk to a rich uncle. Go and cry. They'll give you. We have people who raises 1 million. before you have implemented, their business has grown, they need another 10 million. You start to raise money. We advise people, put it out all there and raise money once. And remember, when you raise money, if it's 50 million, they don't write you a 50 million check. They give you 10 million, you meet the milestone, they drip feed the next 20, then they drip feed the next 15 or the final 20 as you meet the milestone. And that is awesome. Yeah. So nobody will write you a check of 100 million. And so you will raise a little, they'll give you 10 million, you're able to do what you do, they come and see, they add you more money. As we summarize, I want to tell you another secret. When you raise money, don't forget that your business will also generate its own money. Because if I'm trading, and also if I needed 10 million, you may find that I only need 3 million to start with, because my business may generate another 500,000 that I needed. So I do not need sometimes a lot of money, because if my business is highly profitable, I could get money off my business, and therefore I do not raise a lot of money. But you can tell the investor, eventually I think I need 50 or 10 million or 3 million, but for now this is the amount of money I need, and that increases the pool of investors who you can deal with, because they can raise money themselves and give you in the chance that you need. Now, as I summarize, and as I wait your slides, your question, the summary. Please tell us where you see your business in the next 5 years. Firm up your financing, exactly what you need and for what you need the money. Give us good stories, a big order you got, something nice we can hang on. Maybe you are able to increase your prices and you're still getting more customers, something positive to finish with, and then tell us the growth. It's growth we're investing in, is the future we are investing in. Tell us, surprise us that I will grow. One day I will be in everywhere. I'll be in my product will be in every store. And that way we'll be so interested to know more about your business. So a pitch deck is a teaser. We are just wanting to know a little bit of your business. So give us good photos. If you have a plant, you're servicing customers, good photos tell 1,000,001 stories so that we know you're actually doing it. Can you imagine if you tell us that you're into tea distribution and we see your lorry passing Uhuru Park? You begin to visualize your business. Sometimes people use videos. If you had more time to do it, I would have shown you a wonderful video for pitching. That can explain something about your business. Some people use videos to pitch. That's a good idea because your idea can go widely. You tell us about significant agreements and supplier agreements, but please, please, please also don't reveal all your secrets before they sign non-disclosure agreement. I can tell you today that Coca-Cola can still get loans, funding, and equity without revealing the formula for Coke. Because that has not been revealed, it will not be revealed on the altar of money. To be fair with you, I've seen many people, not everyone is very genuine. Some people want to take your idea, take it back to California and say it's their original idea. So please don't share something you feel is very confidential, especially for people who you do not know whether they are serious or not. As I await your question, the way to know, I'm finishing, please. Just allow me 1 minute, 30 seconds, okay. Listen to this. Invest entrepreneurs, you have something important called your business, something wonderful. So please don't prostrate yourself in front of investors, because desperate people attract desperate people. You have something of value to offer them. So be very, very professional. Sometimes, if you have many people fighting to invest in your business, you can ask them, can you show me the proof of funds? They either send you a bank statement, yeah, or sometimes I tell my people, tell them, kindly, can I talk to a business you have invested in, so that this gentleman is not a complete waste of time. In fact, if I was receiving money from a Nigerian brother, I'd ask them, can I talk to somebody a business you've invested in? It's within your rights. Can you show me evidence of the money? Can you go and get a letter of comfort from the bank that you have the money, so that you do not waste your money you do not waste your time with people who don't even have the money, who have never actually invested. I used to work for a business. We used to get a lot of investors coming to wanting to invest for us. But my friend, some of them never did a deal. They wanted just to come to Africa to have fun and visit Masai Mara. And with those few remarks, wishing you all the best as you raise money. Raise money early when you're under no pressure. You get better terms. You're able to run through the process. I want to welcome Linda back so that she can moderate any question that anyone may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Karumba. Thank you for that great presentation. I have learned a lot about pitching. I hope our entrepreneurs have also learned a lot. And from here, they can confidently build a killer pitch that will have every investor not having a reason to say no. We are pressed for time, so I would give this maybe the next 2-3 minutes to anyone with a question. Please raise your hand. Mr. Karumba is here to answer your question before we can wind up.
Yes, please ask your question, even if you may think it's crazy. Yeah, I want to Melanie is asking. I have my pitch ready, and I would like. That's very, very possible. Book me through the Melanin Capital System. I'm one of the consultants there, and I'm happy to spend time with you to let you know what I think, which is fairly a good thing. And thanks for having your pitch deck ready and get it out there, raise loads of money. I'd be so happy to hear you've raised loads of money. Because you people are not asking a question, perfect.
There is Dr. William who's asking a question. Sorry. Dr. William, I have allowed you mic. You can ask your question.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, please put it concise, direct to the question. We are almost out of time.
Yes, my question is about the clients. Huh?
Yes.
I'm in the medical field.
Yes.
And you find we have many competitors.
Yeah.
And now maybe the client might need to do business with you.
Yeah.
And he has a number of other suppliers.
Yeah.
But you see, you find he holds, when the time of payment come, he holds your check.
Yeah.
And get other stock somewhere else.
Yeah.
So you will be waiting for like 90 days.
Yeah.
While waiting for the payment. But their business is continuing.
Yeah.
But you don't want to lose this client.
Yeah.
So how do you go about that?
All right. Thanks very much, Daktari. And I think that's the only question we'll have for today. Let me. Your question is operational, but let me say one more thing about pitching. Can you don't succumb to this lie that people are not investing in people's businesses, or that there is lack of money. There's a lot of money looking for a home, because we find some investors saying, I won't raise money, or this is too much. People are still investing in businesses. So start with that attitude. There is Lions Den, there are people out there, there's investment angels network, banks wants to lend you money. So that is the attitude, that there's a lot of money. There are a lot of symposium for foreign investors who are coming to Kenya looking for tangible businesses to invest in. And we see some of those deals through East African Venture Capital Association. So please be aware that a lot of money is looking for a business just like yours to invest in. Now, to William's question, it's about what we call working capital management. What I would say is this. When I started my own business, my bankers told me, Karumba, sometimes people are defaulting, people are closing their business because they are not being paid. And when we look at the business that's not paying them because the other business, we also bank them, their account is busting at the seams. Yeah, it's like it has too much money, they're not paying. So two things. I want to say, please don't lend to people before they have a track record. Number two, the worst thing is, William, you're out of stock, you have a cash paying customer, and the person you felt desperate to sell to on debt is not paying you, and here you have cash flow. For sure, the economy has become very tight. Please reduce your lending. It's better you lose a customer because some of them may end up defaulting, but then you maintain cash flow. And you just tell them this is a policy. And then let me tell you, if they owe you a lot of money, they come to me and I never lend them, they'll pay me cash. And I can tell you that customer, when they go to Naivas, they don't buy on credit, they pay cash. So I think let's be wise about extending. And you know, the problem with the industry is that your things are too expensive. You can have one client tie up a lot of money. I think Melanie Capital will organize a session. We'll talk about that because I feel it's something sensitive. We have a culture of not paying people. I'm telling you, in the West, you don't pay people, you go to jail. Yeah, but here I can have millions and I'm eating meat. You know, how many of you have lent people money and they're eating meat in their house every day and they would pay you? I have lent people money, entrepreneurs, they have not paid me. So, but let's be conservative about our stock. That, especially right now, when William, everything you're importing fresh is coming at a higher price, I would urge you to sell for cash. Where that cannot happen, can you please stop also dealing with county? I don't see why county government should pay debts incurred by former governors or administrators. They want to buy things from their own suppliers for reasons that you and I know. So avoid customers who do not pay. You can get a bank guarantee in terms of them paying. But we must be wise about stock management. Please don't feel desperate that they have to buy. Sometimes you tell them, you can use an excuse. Tell them our board has said the maximum limit I can sell you is 2 million. Beyond that, can you please settle your own debt? And as you train them to pay you on time, you'll be so shocked. They go to supermarkets. Do they think they get debt from Carrefour? They don't. They pay cash. What about you? They take advantage of you. And if a customer has that behavior, as you've said, please drop them. Look for other customers, because eventually you'll run into problems. And with those few remarks, thanks, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me. It's always my pleasure to strengthen you so that you get to build a business, you, your mom, and your doubting spouse who doesn't believe in your partner, in your business, you'll be proud about, and you'll be happy to be associated with. And for now, bye and have a great evening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Karumba. Thank you, everyone, for making time. Please feel free to reach out to us if you want help with, booking a session with a partner. Please utilize the opportunity you've been given on the Melanin Capital platform. And you have any question or any challenges, reach out to us and we are here to help. Again, thank you so much and have a good evening.
You too. Thanks and bye all.
Bye.